Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having us, Sachin. We're super excited to be here. I think it's a super cool initiative that you have going on here with the podcast. So a little bit about me. I grew up in Fremont. I went to Mission San Jose High School. Um, you know, literally just like every brown kid, every Indian kid around here. But I really loved the game of basketball a lot growing up. It was definitely my main passion. I spent a lot more time on the courts than on the books, from time to time, just because I loved it so much. And now currently I run HoopSphere with Coach Alex. I'm blessed to be doing the work that I'm involved in. So thank you again.
My name is Alex Harris. I also went to Mission San Jose High School, grew up in Fremont, California as well. Actually, been knowing Coach B since freshman year at Mission. Grew up playing basketball together, both extremely passionate about the game. That's how we became very good friends. And we grinded on the court for 20 years. And we loved it. Just we're obsessed with the game. And we continued that passion into coaching after finishing playing.
That's amazing. Yeah, your guys' story is really inspiring, and it's awesome to have you on the show. I have another question. What is HoopSphere, and how did you think of that amazing name?
You want to tackle this one, Coach Alex, or should I go?
Sure. It's HoopSphere is a basketball academy. We offer training for all ages from 5 through 17. We also have leagues and AAU teams. Our main thing is just inspiring the youth, instilling basketball passion in them, passing our love and experiences of the game to the kids and the community around here. We never had something like this growing up, and we were so excited to start something for the community where they can have role models and real basketball teachers that could teach them how to play the right way. So that's kind of how HoopSphere started. The name was kind of random. I mean, when we first started HoopSphere, just going through some options like Hoop Zone, Hoop Center, and a whole bunch of random stuff. And I was actually looking at domains, and a lot of them were taken. And then HoopSphere just popped in my head. I don't remember how, but I liked the ring to it. I liked how it sounded. I liked the meaning of it, because sphere, and obviously an area of basketball and also an area of influence. So I thought that was really cool. And then the domain name was available, so I said, let's go with it.
I remember Coach Alex. Yeah, sorry. I was going to say, like, just to quickly add on, is that I remember Coach Alex texted me. He's like, "Do you like HoopSphere?" And I was like, "To be honest, not really." And then he's like, "Too bad. It's the only domain that's left." So, but after we got the name, it was like, oh wow, this is really cool. Just the idea of that sphere of influence, and the sphere, alluding to a domain, but also the actual spherical object like a basketball. So that's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah, that's amazing. Obviously, you guys have really good chemistry with each other because both co-founders of HoopSphere, and it did really well. How did you guys meet each other, and how long have you guys known each other for? I think that was already answered, but like, were you guys close friends, or tell me more?
No, that's this pretty funny story actually. So I actually moved to Fremont. Well, I originally lived in Fremont, then I moved to San Jose and moved back to Fremont, and came to Mission in 9th grade. I didn't know anyone at Mission San Jose. I didn't have any friends. I literally was a loner, like at the back of the school every day by myself, eating my lunch. But the one opportunity for me to make friends was actually basketball. So I used to see this kid, who was pretty good at open gym. And everybody was like, this kid Alex is really good. I used to hear people talking about him, like he's really a good scorer and everything like that. And I'm like, man, he's not better than me. There's no way he's better than me. So just that competitive thing going on. And But then the first time I met him at open gym. And I'm like, I told him my name, and he was like, "What?" Like he really couldn't pronounce an Indian name. It was hilarious. And I was like, "Bro, just call me V." So that's how we met, and that's the first time I met him. And then our first game, I distinctly remember this. We had a scrimmage against Castro Valley High School, and I remember like, cause I played point guard, and you know I pride myself on being a good passer. So whenever like I kind of got stuck, or like he just happened to be at the perfect place at the right time. I remember throwing him a really nice behind the back pass, and then I was like, man, I really enjoy playing with this kid. And that's the first few memories. And then I remember I used to go to Hopkins Junior High School by myself all the time. Like there was nobody else that really took basketball very seriously at that time. And then I remember him asking like, "Hey, do you play after school, and do you like practice?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do. Like, you want to come join me?" So that's how we ended up spending a lot of time. And that was the kind of the beginnings of the friendship that we that sustained till today. So yeah.
Awesome. So when you guys first started, actually when I was in HoopSphere in elementary school, I've been doing entrepreneurial things. Actually, I used to sell candy and toys to my friends at school when I was really young. So that's how I know that I truly love what I do. Did you guys actually like know you wanted to be entrepreneurs, or did you want to be professional athletes?
Alex, you want to take this one?
Take it? Sure. I guess we'll take one question.
Yeah.
Definitely did not know that we were going to be entrepreneurs or coaching basketball. I didn't, at least. And I think Coach B's the same. We wanted to play basketball. We wanted to play professional basketball. We wanted to play in the NBA. And if the NBA didn't work out, we wanted to play overseas. Our passion for the game just continued to grow, actually, through our friendship in high school, meeting Coach B. You know, I saw someone who loved the game as much as I did, or perhaps even more than I did, which was shocking to me at the time. And it made me love the game more and work harder for the game. And, you know, he used to give me a lot of confidence that, man, you're good. You can actually play college. And, you know, as we continue to work on our game and build those skills and confidence, we really thought we could play in college. And we you know, envisioned ourselves playing professionally after that. So that was our goal. We worked extremely hard towards it. HoopSphere kind of just landed in our lap. I mean, in terms of, we just wanted to continue basketball in some form. We just didn't know how. So Coach B started training, I think, on the side, and you know, we started talking about doing it, and we just did it. So I definitely wouldn't consider myself an entrepreneur or anything like that. And I still don't consider myself an entrepreneur. Just a kid who loves basketball and works really hard.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Coach Alex has some great points in there. You know, when we used to work out almost every day, myself and Coach Alex, either at the Silman Center at Hopkins. Whenever we used to see a kid, like I would see like a kid just working on his game, or just trying to shoot baskets on the side, or, you know, I saw there was a little bit of interest or passion. I would go over there, even as a 16, 17-year-old kid, and help like a younger kid to me. And so like, essentially, you know, HoopSphere essentially just came natural to us. Like it didn't really feel like we were working or doing something as a means to you know, to start a business or anything like that. It's just something that we've always done, whether it's playing or helping others that were you know, trying to improve their game. So that's kind of how it developed. I don't think we ever sat together and said, let's make a business plan, or, you know, let's have this facility one day, or anything like that. So there was definitely some you know, a lot of learning on the way, and there still is every day. But I think at the focal point of everything is just an undying passion for the game of basketball. That's what makes HoopSphere strong, the idea of it. And I think hopefully we can just keep passing the passion on to the kids.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I actually did a TED talk about like passion and purpose and how all of it is connected, and I can see you guys truly love the game. So let's talk about adversity. That's something that a lot of athletes and founders have to deal with. From a consumer point of view, I think HoopSphere was just, it was a brilliant idea and people loved it, and you just got a ton of students and a ton of kids to join. But were there any challenges? Was there any like times where you felt like, I don't know if this idea is gonna work out? Because obviously doubt always creeps in sometimes. So did that ever happen?
Absolutely. Alex, you want to take this one or should I take this?
Go for
You
it.
can jump in.
I can chime in.
Yeah, I think it's funny how me and Coach Alex think sometimes. It's like like I'll be thinking the same thing. He'll be exactly thinking the same thing. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, a lot of adversity, and I think there was a lot of lessons, a lot of learning that involved, educating the parent community, educating, kind of bringing them to our vision, helping them understand what our vision was. I think essentially there was a big learning curve. I think there still is a big learning curve in the Asian community and like in the Indian community that we have in Fremont, where sports isn't really playing a sport very seriously and trying to play in college and trying to go pro is a very, very new concept. I mean, we don't have that many professional athletes in our community, and so just educating the community of what that process looks like. That it's not, you're not going to get results like right away in a snap of a finger. It's a lifestyle. You have to go through a lot of adversity, and culturally it's just a new thing. And I think that's an ongoing process that has contributed to some adversity, but we're all for the challenge. I mean, my parents didn't grow up playing basketball. Coach Alex is really so that's kind of what we're here for too. Like we didn't realize that not only do we need to educate the kids, but we also need to educate the parents. So that's kind of what I have. But Coach Alex, could you add on to that?
Sure. Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, I think the challenges, they changed and evolved through every phase of HoopSphere. I think the first challenge was getting a student base when you had zero, just starting from scratch. That was very hard, and literally just walking around and passing out flyers to random kids at parks and random parents, and they're just like, get away from me, like, who is this guy? And then as we picked up on the student base, the next challenge was probably, where are these kids going to train? We were outdoors for a while, then the weather got bad. It got dark early, so we ran out of spaces to train, and we had to get a gym. We had to secure a gym, and we were fortunate to get a reliable gym in Fremont. It was a church gym. And then we grew a little bit more than that, and we needed more gyms. That was another challenge. Our organizational, administrative stuff while coaching was a challenge. And then when we grew to a certain point, we had to give up coaching. That was a huge challenge. And now to this day, just running the organization, I guess there's a lot of challenges, but one that sticks out is trying to just give the kids the best we possibly can and just deliver day in and day out. When we're not coaching ourselves, just delivering on exactly what we want with a large staff, having everybody on the same page, which I think we do a great job of doing. We find some really, really great coaches, really great characters to work here, but it's not easy. It takes time, it takes effort, and patience. So there's a lot more, but I think those are some big ones along the way.
Yeah, a few more questions and we can have our closing. Coach Alex, if you have to run, no worries, you can go, but if you can stay, that would be great. So let's talk about, definitely before we go to the next question, you guys are like Bay Area celebrities, because so many people look up to you, because all the students at Irvington, the school that I go to and across, like they want to know someone that they can look up to, that they can actually meet in person and play with. And specifically, Coach V, for the Indian community, you are someone so special, because we look up to you, like saying, hey, he made it and he can do basketball. And a kid can say, someone that looks like me is doing it, so why can't I? So I think what you guys are doing is not just like a business and coaching. You guys are truly inspirational. And that's specifically why I wanted to have you on my show. So let's go to the next question. Do you want to talk about how you started and then how you have your own building? Because that's so cool. Do you want to also talk about folks in the Bay Area that are listening or watching, how they can meet up with you guys and possibly go to the gym sometime?
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much. Just the words that you told me, it's really fuel to the future for me. Just to keep going hard. I want to share more wisdom. I want to share. I want to learn more of myself. You know, I'm always constantly also a student in some ways, and you know, I just want to keep getting better, and also sharing everything that I know with you guys. You know, with the younger generation and anyone that really wants to learn. You know, I consider myself very ordinary, very normal. I mean, I'm like both of us are kind of. I mean, sub 6 foot. You know, not sure. I mean, when I walk into a gym, you know, I'm not the first one that's picked, you know, based on my physical attributes. But that's shown me that hey, anyone can do anything if they put the work in, if they believe. And there's a lot of things that I would have, if I had told my high school version of myself, where we were to do it again, there's a lot more things that I would have told my former self. But you just saying that is just huge for me, just to keep going. So thank you for that. That's very humbling as well. And so I'm sorry, what was the second
facility?
Like how you guys started and how you have your
own building
now, all the growth.
Yeah. I think Coach Alex touched on it, and Alex, feel free to jump in on that one. But you know, like he had mentioned that it was really hard to find venues and just places that we can train the kids. And you know, I remember being at Hopkins from not Hopkins Junior High School, like the parks out there, different parks in Fremont, where we'd be from like 9 a.m. to like 5 p.m. like in the hot sun, just like class after class, and just like, you know, I'd feel bad for the coaches. You know, a lot of the coaches alongside of us, because it was like super hot, so or like super cold. So the process it was actually like a 4 to 5 year process. 2017 is when we first started looking for potentially, you know, having our own space. And I think we kind of outgrew the church in a lot of ways. And so you want to tackle that from there, Coach Alex?
Sure.
Yeah.
And that actually was the next phase of challenge that we ran into, was when I was talking about how challenges evolve. The facility was definitely the next big challenge we had, because there was a lot of, you know, we ran into an area that we weren't very familiar with. Commercial real estate, number one, buying a property. Number two, we had to rezone the property because it wasn't made for sports and recreation. The prior business in this area is industrial, so sports and recreation is not allowed here. So we had to get zoning approval from the city to operate our business here. That was a huge challenge. We really didn't know what the heck we're doing. Luckily, my dad is relatively, you know, experienced in real estate, working with the city. He helped us out a great deal. It took 1 year just to rezone it. After that, we had to get our building permits. And if I mention all the roadblocks we ran into along the way, we would run out of time. So it was just, there was a lot of things to do. Parking restrictions to agricultural issues that we had to solve. We had to do a risk assessment analysis on the facility. There was potential like hazardous materials that prior businesses potentially used that we had to do soil analysis to ensure that wasn't the case. I can go on and on and on. So that was a crazy challenge to get the zoning, get the building permit, build the facility, have the money to do it, run into a COVID crisis that happened during construction. So I don't know if I went on a tangent here to your original question, but that was a huge challenge, but we're lucky to have pushed through. The facility's done. We're running full operation here. We're blessed and we're thankful.
Yeah, that's a great way to end off the episode. There's always going to be challenges, which you have to push through. Anyways, what was your guys' favorite part of being on the show?
Alex?
I think
first.
my favorite part, sorry to cut you off, Coach V, is just seeing the maturity and how I haven't seen you in a long time, and seeing you run your podcast here. And, it looks like you've got some big things ahead of you, and I'm very proud of you. So thanks for having me on. And I'm very, very impressed how you ran the interview, and it was a pleasure. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sachin, favorite thing of again to add to Coach Alex's comment as well is just to see how far you come, and the fact that you're pushing yourself in the right direction. You're inspiring kids your own age, younger than you, and even older than you, and you're learning from those around you. So as long as we keep learning, you know, we keep living, right? So keep growing, and I think I really loved your questions. You know, the questions were made us think critically about some kind of digging into the past as well. So that was fun to kind of being able to reflect back on some years back. So it was great.
Thank you. And for the audience, all the HoopSphere information is in the link in description below. So be sure to check out their website, follow them on social media. But thank you guys so much for joining again. It was so awesome to have you on the show, and have an amazing day.
Thank you. You too, man.
Appreciate you, Sachin. Thanks for everyone. And